find success and success is here. Come listen to what I have to say. And this group will say, well, I have found success. Just come and give us $500 of your dollars and we will teach you how to become successful. But see, whenever you figure out the mystery, you automatically become successful. Now success is determined by what? What is success determined by?
Work, vision, effort.
It's effort. It's what you put in and what you get out. It's not money. Success is not money. Success is far, far, far beyond money. Success is actually, I can only determine my success. Now you can say, well, you're successful, or you're not successful. But only I can determine that. So, in order for me to determine if I'm successful or not, well, I have to be confident in whatever I've done, whatever vision I have achieved. I was sitting here thinking, why am I going? My brain was going in this direction this morning when I was trying to figure out what I'm going to get up here and say. And of course, there's no point in even doing that. But I didn't realize, I knew, but I didn't realize that this week was such a big week for you. This is about you. This is about all of us, but this is about you. Because you have achieved the vision, right?
I didn't know it was a vision.
Well,
At the time.
you was going in that direction and saw something, and you said, well, that's what I'm going for. Eventually, I'm going to be here, right? You planned on this day coming, right? You didn't just go and just do, and oh, here it is. Well, this is surprising. It was no surprise. And so, you set some goal in front of you, and you pursued after. Was it easy? No, it was not easy. Why wasn't it easy? Because nothing that is worth having is easy.
Work.
So if you, and that is the most true statement. My daddy used to tell me all the time, nothing good is free.
That's right.
It's nothing free. Somebody wants to give you something, it costs somebody something, number one.
Right.
And even though it's free to you, somebody had to work for whatever it is. And therefore somebody had to put in some extreme effort into a vision that they had saw in order to make that happen. So you don't appreciate it like that person did. The most valuable thing we got is time.
Yeah. That's right.
The most valuable thing we got. Now guess what? We've done this before. I don't know, I probably got it wrote down. I can't remember the exact number. But we have basically 24 hours in a day. All of us. Who's got 25? Anybody? Who's got 23? Anybody? No. Nobody. We all have the same amount of time. How we spend our time. How we spend our time is how we judge our success. I used to spend my time doing things that was destroying me. Therefore, I felt the opposite of successful. I felt depleted. I felt as if I was bottom of the barrel. Why? Because I spent the very thing that God gave me. I spent this on something that was causing death instead of life. We're here to have what? Life, and life more abundant.
More abundant.
That's what we're here. That's what we're here for. This life is here and now. And so as I went through my time, I spent my time unwisely. I spent my time on things that did not require a vision. So basically, I spent my time as a blind man. I spent my time wandering through darkness, not knowing where I was going, having no sight, because if you don't have vision, without a vision the people perish. You have no sight, therefore you perish. So, as a blind man, I walked through my life, tripping, stumbling, dying, wasting my life. And whenever this thing called the mystery, the Christ in you, the hope of glory, that is the mystery. Christ in you. Whenever the mystery finally made sense to me, all of a sudden my eyes were open.
Yes.
I was able to see. I was able to see something, and I heard a man say this. When Jesus went to the blind man, he asked a question. What did he say? I heard this and I was like, wow. He said, what do you see? And the man said, well, I see men as trees. His vision was blurred. So what happened? Jesus went back in with some more. He touched him again to clear his vision. See, some of us have no vision. Some of us are blind. Some of us have a cloudy vision. And then some of us can see clearly. We're all in a process of life. We are all in this process. And within this process, we're all at some level. But guess what? I'm not one to judge what level you're on. Now I hope you don't come here to church or to go to any church telling who's ever there that you want them to tell you where you're at in your life. Because it's impossible. I hope you didn't come seeking to find where you're at in your life from me. Because all you have to figure out is the mystery. Christ in you. It didn't say Christ coming to you. It said Christ in you, the hope of glory. Christ is already in you. You just have to come to the mystery and figure out that He is in you. He is the light, the way, the truth, and the light. And the only way you can come to the Father and open up all His promises is by Jesus, who's already in you. We have got this thing, we have got life by the horns and don't even know it. Everything that we need is inside of us. I don't know what this has to do with it. I say that every time, don't I? I'm going to stop saying that. Everything we have, every need that needs to be met, every bit of pain that we have that needs to be attended to, every bit of strife that we have that's inside of us and it causes us to be blind. The key is inside of us to fix it. And I was thinking about you. I hope you got a vision for the future. You should have a vision. And I think you do have a vision for the future, but you have achieved a goal. And see, just because we achieve that goal, success is the continuance after you achieve the goal. To be successful and to be the life, I told you, I think we got the life part. I want to get to the more abundantly part. Yeah. We got the life. I want life and life more abundantly. Amen. I want the and.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so let's figure out the and.
Go ahead.
So, the and is, whatever's inside of you next. That's exciting. Because what you have is meant to meet the needs of others. It's to fill a void in somebody else's life. It's to enhance somebody else. It's to make them greater than what they currently are. Every one of us in here has that inside of us. You have something somebody else needs. I have something you need. But guess what? I know you're sitting here listening to me right now, but just as valuable, everybody in here has something that I need. And see, whenever you sit on your vision and you be blinded to your vision, guess what? I want to be selfish right here and say this. You're not giving me what I need.
Go ahead. That's good.
You're holding back on me. Not to even mention the most important thing, that you're holding back on yourself. But see, you're holding back on what I need. Because I need you.
Yeah.
It's selfish, but it's not selfish. The value of what we have inside of us, we will never know. We will never fully understand the value of what we have. But see, the only way we will even get close to understanding is when we start chasing our vision and start watching people's lives become changed, become enhanced, become greater because of just simply what's inside of us. That's exciting to me. I'm 28, I think. I'm 28 years old. And I'm not saying this in any kind of tone. I'm going to be selfish again and just talk about myself. I'm excited to see what's to come in the next 10 years of my life. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's to come in your life in the next 10 years. But see, the only way it's going to come is for you to recognize the Christ in you, which is the mystery of all mysteries. Christ is in you. I wasn't taught that at a young age. I was taught that I had to go seek and find Christ. That it was some magic formula that I had to do, maybe say this prayer. But they said just believe, but yet they also said that, I had to do this, and this. And that was the only way I could find Him. The mystery the whole time was that He is inside of me, waiting to be blossomed, waiting to be opened up, waiting to flow out of me living waters. Because He is living water. He is the living water. And He was just waiting to be exploded out of me. Now, what would be the only reason for living waters to come out of you? Is that so somebody else will never thirst. To meet somebody else's need. So that they won't thirst. So that they won't hunger. Because He said, eat of my flesh and drink of my blood. Drink of me. Okay, we are in His image. People are supposed to eat and drink of us. What are they eating and what are they drinking? Because it happens every day. People eat of you. I don't know about that. Or they eat of you and say, man, this is good. This is what I need. Because His bread, His flesh, when you eat of Him, will never die. It will never perish. You will never hunger again. I know that I eat of Him because I'm not hungry right now. And I haven't been hungry for a long time. But see, now I'm hungry for something else. I'm hungry for the glory that He has. I'm hungry for His riches. I'm hungry for me to become more valuable so that I can feed others. That's inside of all of us. We have open doors, Brother Tommy. Open doors. And those doors are open. Not for me. Your door is not open for me. That door is for you. That door is to prosper you so that you can become prospering to somebody else. But it only comes through vision. Because with my eyes closed and I spun around 5 times, I wouldn't know where the door is. If I squint my eyes so that I see men as trees, I can't see but so far. But see, only when Jesus touches you, when He touches you. See, we got to seek His face. See, the blind man sat seeking things of men for a long time. He sat with a beggar's mentality. On the outskirts, it was always, well, this is just enough. It's just enough for me to be blind, and maybe somebody will give me some change, and then when somebody else comes by, I'll take this change, and I know that, see, people enable you in your life to become beggar. See, this one might give you a couple of dollars, but you know that around 12 o'clock, somebody else is going to come by, and they're going to bring me, and I'm going to take these dollars, and they're going to give me some food so I can eat for today. And this process never ends. See, but when you find the mystery, and you can see the face of the mystery, which is the Christ in you, you can actually see the Christ in you. Now all of a sudden, your beggarly, your victim mentality that I'm only just good enough to be here goes completely out the window. Because now I have to go higher. Because what's inside of me is too great for me to sit right here. I can't allow Christ, the King of all, who created all, who is the Son of everything, to be inside of me. See, the Son of everything, you can see, touch, feel, and even the things that you can't, is inside of you. Whenever you understand that to the fullness, you can't just settle any longer. You strive for more. You said it this morning, Brother Dale. Yeah, we're small in numbers. I went to Holvet's car show yesterday. It was a definite success. But this thing is being grown. It's being built. It started small, but each time it grows. Each time more people are added into the mix, because it's the Christ in you. Well, guess what? You're not the only one who harbors this Christ. There's other people that have Christ in them too, and when you can merge with them, because where 2 or more touch and agree.
Yes.
Now when all of a sudden you got a whole group, see, that's what we're trying to do here. I don't know if you realize it. We're not just here. I'm going to say this. I'm not just here just to sit here so that we don't go anywhere as a whole. Actually, let me back up. For the new people who never heard me speak, I'm just going to be straight up and very, very, because we have a reason, Haley. That song you sang, we have a reason for being here. And we're not just going to sit here and play church. Because I understand this Christ in me. We understand the Christ in us. We have to go higher. I can't sit here and play church because you know what? I only got 24 hours in a day too, and I know what I can do with my 24. I'm learning more and more every day that, hey, I can spend my time this way, and I get this result. Why would you invest your money into a property or something that was going to produce you negative results? I'm not going to throw out $50,000 or $100,000 to buy a house that's only worth $50,000. That wouldn't make sense. But yet we do that with our time all day long. We spend our time on things that's producing nothing but negative returns. ROI, return on interest. Return on investment, I mean. What's your return on investment? What's the return on investment of your time? When you sit and you spend your days, because we work for 8 hours, we sleep for about 8, that's 16, 7 to 8. So now, we have about 8 or 9 hours left in our day. What do we do with those hours? It's amazing because the ideas within people are huge. The ideas that we harbor inside of us, maybe the ones we've never even mentioned to people, are so grand. But see, your Father said, any door you knock on, Brother Tommy, is an open door. Because if you knock, He'll open. And if any door you knock on is an open door, why are we wasting our time not knocking on doors? Why are we wasting our time spending time with people who are giving us a negative return on investment? Why are we spending our time on Facebook, wasting precious hours of our day when we could be knocking on these doors? Because all you got to do is knock. Put a little skin in the game. Not walk up to the door and knock on it. And it will be open. Why? It's by faith, because we understand the Christ in us. You want to see what people do with their time? Look on Facebook. Because they posted this. I mean, you're telling on yourself all day what you're doing. You posted this 8 hours ago. You posted this 7 hours ago. You posted this 6 hours ago. 5 hours ago you posted this. Maybe y'all didn't know you could see all that. And you can see where people have been investing their time. Because they invested time into learning about whatever they did and thought it was important enough to share with the world. But what? Everybody sang that song this morning, I'm going to change the world. But do you believe it? Do you believe that you're going to change the world so much that you have to give your hours to changing the world? To give your time to changing the world? Because the return on interest, whenever you invest your time in changing the world, is going to be to actually change the world. Because the door that you go and knock on will be given to you. I want to change the world. I'm going to tell you right now. Now I understand that I'm only 28 years old and that I have come from this point of being a drug addict who everybody thought one way of me, to where I am now, which ain't much. But I promise you one thing. I will change the world. And there's no doubt in my mind about that. Yes. And I'm telling you this now, so in case you want to look back at me in 10 years, that you'll say, oh, he said that. And maybe 10 years from now, you'll decide that you want to change the world too. It don't matter when you start. It's just the fact that you start, because you can start right now. You can fire yourself up right now and start walking down this trail. Start walking down this path that is to your vision and to your future, because you have to get and put something in to get something out, because nothing that's good is free. What you can see, you can achieve. I told you, I'm excited this morning. This is exciting to me.
Go ahead.
All I want to do is get you excited to see your vision, because your vision is just as important as mine. Your vision spreads life too. Your vision is living waters too. Your vision is to have and change the world too, because the world has been given to you. That's why He came. To give you the world, so that anything you ask shall be given. Somebody tell me their vision. Somebody not even read this. Anybody? Do we know?
My vision is to have a shelter for children, to be able to help those that are hurting, and to give them unconditional love, to where they grow up and know that they have a purpose, just like God showed me I have a purpose.
Alright, good. Now, you was the first one, so I have to do this.
Go ahead.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm planning this summer to go to school and get some education on running a business like that.
Okay.
Because I don't have all the knowledge. I have the love, but I don't have the paperwork to back it up.
Okay.
That's my plans.
Good. Anybody else? Quick vision. Anybody?
Well, I got a little bit confused when you said we were opening that door. I always feel that open door I've walked through.
Sure.
I never see that door in front of me. I always see that I've walked through it. So I'm in it. I'm in my vision. I'm in where I'm going.
Right.
And for me to get up every day and not be in pain is a very good vision. That means I've gone swimming the day before and done my therapy and taken my pills. And relying, I guess, on my way, and I shouldn't. I should rely on Jesus' way and just say, okay, now God will move. And my vision, I think, is to live another 10 years. People want to know if I want to live to 100, and I said no. Do I want to live another 10 years? That's a good goal for me. If I start at 5, I can live to 10. But past that, I don't really care. To leave tomorrow would be no problem, because my mom's not alive, so I don't have to tell her I'm going. So I can go anytime. To stay on earth or to be with Jesus, not a question. I'm gone.
Who else? Yes, sir.
Well, you know, talking about, well, a few weeks ago, I don't know exactly how long it's been, but you were talking about things we need to lay down. Pastor Dad said that we have got to lay things down to be able to pick up the good things. We've got things in our lives that are taking our life, he said. And if we just lay it down, He will open a door. Well, I had something that I needed to lay down for a long time, and I finally surrendered to it. And I haven't looked back. I haven't looked back. And what He has done, He has hooked me up. You're talking about the right people. Who are you hanging around with? Are you hanging around with people that are going somewhere, or are you hanging around with people who are just under the bridge that don't know what they're doing, that don't have a vision? And by laying that down, He has opened the door. And I really didn't have a vision, really a clear vision, until I laid that thing down. Okay? But that's in the past. And He's opened this door, and what He's done is that, you know, I've always been physical, you know, in physical fitness, and I always wanted to know how I could help people my age or older to show them, hey, you know, age is just a number, okay? And now, right now, I'm working as an apprentice now, okay? With no money, as an apprentice, to learn the ground floor up of the business, okay? And the vision is, within a year from now, I'm gonna have my own business and health and wellness, as a health and wellness coach. And I'm excited. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning now to get there at 6:30.
It's good.
And I'm still working with my John Easter.
Well, you know what? You got to give something. You're giving something.
Yes,
And what you sow into, you will reap.
amen. I'm excited.
You can have it all.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. That's an awesome vision. And you said something. I want to read this. This is exactly what you were just talking about. We're going to go to James 1. And I want to read in James 1:12. We ready? James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. So when do you receive the crown of life? When you endure temptation. Now you said you had to put something down. It don't matter to me what you had to put down. It's irrelevant. But when you endured that, were you not tempted to pick it back up?
At times, yes. I was tempted, but you know, I said, no, I have laid it down.
But in the past,
Yes.
you were always tempted to pick it
Pick it
back up.
back up. I'd lay it down and then I'd pick it back up.
But see, you endured it. And then you said your open door came after you put it down.
Put it down for good.
Right. That's when you receive the crown of life.
Right.
Now this is talking right now, endure temptation. Is anybody enduring temptation right now? Okay, good. I'm not the only one. Wow. That is awesome. Y'all just made me feel a whole lot better about myself. But when we endure these things, when we endure things that we know that it's producing bad fruit. Because we got some sort of fruit scale about us. We're like a fruit scale, is what we are. And see, we either are going to produce good fruit or bad fruit. And we're judged by the fruit that we bear. Well, that thing the temptation, whatever it was, it's irrelevant. But what those temptations, those things that we do, when we endure those, we receive the crown of life. The crown of life. What is a crown of life? It's a crown, it's life. It's a crown, which means you have conquered something. A crown is for a king, right?
Yeah.
So you have received a crown. Authority. Over what?
Yeah.
Over death of life. Because you have life now. So now you can control your life, because before that thing that you was tempted with controlled you.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Now this is good right here. The thing that is tempted you is controlling you, because that's all you can think about. When you get put in a spot, now let me just break it. I'm just going to talk about myself right here. When these things come up in my life and it's there, it's like, well, I know that I don't need to do that. But it's right here. And I shouldn't do that. And I know I shouldn't do it. And I think about it for way too long. Therefore I do it because it's, well, I might as well do it now because I done thought about it. Nobody else has ever said that. I'm glad I'm the only one that has ever done that. I done thought about it for long enough. I might as well just do it.
Yep.
But see, when you endure that, you receive a crown of life because you no longer have to think about that thing at all anymore. It's not even a subject matter within your brain. You can continue on with producing life instead of thinking, because what you think is what you are. So you can stop thinking about this thing that's producing death and start producing life. You have authority over that thing. Now let me tell you, I had a lot of things that had authority over me. A lot of things. I had to be tempted with a lot of things. And I had to endure those things. What I was in as far as addiction is the absolute best example I know how to give. I mean, because it's a natural example, but it's in it being natural, it's as much spiritual things as well. It applies to everything. I would do drugs, okay? These drugs obviously was not causing me more life. It was causing me death. It was causing chaos in my mind. It was causing just absolute death, any way you look at it. In order to overcome that, I had to endure the temptation. Well, one temptation was, if I didn't do it, I suffered from a withdrawal symptom. Physically, I felt bad. Therefore, I did it. I felt like I needed that to feel good. Now I want to put this in a different perspective. Whatever you're tempted with that you know is causing you death, for some reason you feel as if you need it in order to feel good. Therefore, that's why we do it. But see, when you have vision and you can see past that, you can see past the momentary pleasure of whatever it is, because that temptation is a momentary pleasure for you. I don't want to know your temptation, but was it not momentary pleasure for you?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm right then. I feel it. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not just talking out in the open. It is a momentary pleasure for you, and you choose to do that momentary pleasure in order to fix. A drug is called a fix. You get your fix, your short-term fix. You get your fix then, but see, what you're doing is you're sacrificing your long-term vision for that quick fix. That's what we do in life. With all these things, that we sacrifice our long-term vision to get the quick Facebook fix. Oh, that ain't good. To get the quick feeling of those pills we get when we take. To get the quick euphoria of doing whatever it is. We sacrifice our long-term vision, therefore we sacrifice the ability to change the world with our vision. We sacrifice the ability to be, the last message my dad spoke on was a living legend. We sacrifice that ability to become a legend, to leave a legacy that never dies. That never dies. that has to continue because it's so strong and you invested so much of you into it that it cannot die. Because your vision, what's inside of you, will never die if it's out in the open. Because it's Christ, the hope of glory. When you let Christ out of you, because that vision is the Christ in you, when you let that out of you, and you start sowing into that Christ, that vision, your vision will continue and never ever die because Christ can never die. I'm not going to sit up here and talk about dying and going somewhere else. I'm going to talk about living right now. Because I lived in hell for a long, long time. But for the first time, whenever that light bulb clicked on for me, and I realized this mystery that I'm sitting here telling you about, I realized that Christ was in me the whole time. And even though I was doing drugs, and even though I was causing chaos, and I was robbing, and I was stealing, and I was doing all these things that I wasn't seeking God. I didn't have to find Him, that He was inside of me. I was just rejecting the fact that He was inside of me.
Go ahead.
I was just pushing the fact that He was inside of me away in order for my own selfish pleasures. We do it all day long. See, when we do these things, we're not saying that we don't believe or that God isn't real. We're just rejecting Him momentarily to please ourselves. And see, whenever you understand the fullness, I don't understand the fullness, but I know this is true. Whenever you can truly understand the fullness of the Christ in you, changing the world is just, that's just what you have to do. We don't just sing about it anymore. We don't just say, well, I'm going to change the world and maybe by something I said this. No, it's going to be, the Christ in you is extravagant. Okay, the Christ in you is glorious above all. The Christ in you is absolute power. The Christ in you is the greatest thing you could possibly comprehend. And if it's in you and you understand the Christ in you, then you're going to strive to be everything that He wants you to be. Which is more than enough, which is the life which we have. And life more abundant. Abundantly, to live in excess. To have more joy, more love, more peace, more hope, more vision. I want my eyes to be open more. I want to be able to see farther. I want to see farther than what I can see now.
Yes, sir.
I want to be able to see farther.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I sat down and told you what I can see now, most of you would think I'm crazy. But that's fine. I want to see farther than that.
Yes, sir.
So I can set my goals at that point instead of what I can see now. See, as long as Christ, if He would have left that blind man seeing men as trees, that man would have never been able to go farther than from me to Brother David. That would have been it. But see, the Christ in you don't leave you wanting anything. Because the blind man would have been happy to just see men as trees. He would have been happy. But see, the Christ in you is always striving for more. He would have been happy for that moment. to see ministries. But then he would have said, man, I wish I could see better than I can now. I know I was blind. See, I know I was a drug addict. But I also know that now I have a wife, I have a family, I have a beautiful son, beautiful wife, I have a house, I have cars, I have all this which I never thought I would have before. I never thought I would be where I am right now. Just so everybody in here knows, I never thought I would have anything. See, but Christ don't leave you right there.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Because that's not good enough for the Christ in me. I never thought I would have this peace inside of me. I never thought I would have love for people greater than what I had way back then, which was not an agape love, which was a conditional love, where my love only existed when what you can do for me. My love only exists for you because you have this to offer me, and for you because you have this to offer me. That conditional love, I never thought I would understand agape love. I never thought I would have joy.
Yes.
When I wasn't mad all the time, when I didn't have a burning fire raging inside of me waiting to bite somebody's head off, I never thought I would have joy. See, but even though I have those things now, the Christ inside of me wants to take me farther. I'm striving. The Christ inside of me is making me strive for more. Because I understand that there is more.
Yes.
See, unless you understand that there is more, I'm here to tell you that there is more. There is no limit. You don't have to only make X amount per year.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm speaking natural now, because natural things is the only thing that we can wrap our mind around. Maybe if we could wrap our mind around the natural, the spiritual would fall right into place. You don't only have to make X amount per year. You're either working for the job when the job needs to be working for you. See, whenever you set your mind that this is what you're worth, then you have cut off your vision. You only see men as trees. You haven't seen the face of Christ yet. He's seen Christ as a tree. That's good. He just seen him as a tree. But whenever he realized that he was the tree of life, whenever he could see that he was the tree of life, that living waters flowed out of this tree, now all of a sudden, his vision was unlimited. I'm going to tell you, I got unlimited vision right now. I'm willing to take on whatever I can see right now. If there was something past it, I want it. Christ inside of me, inside of you, the hope of glory. The mystery. It's the most beautiful thing we got. I don't have to go nowhere to see him. I don't have to go anywhere. He's in me. You want to see Christ? Look at me. Okay? This is it. Look at you. Look at you. Look at all these beautiful Christs all around you. We have to go higher. Man, the wisdom of men has set us a standard, a limit. But we're made to go higher because Christ is calling us constantly. higher. All through the Bible, these great men that had to go up on a mountain. They had to go on the mountain. Guess what? Anybody else couldn't go on the mountain. He was calling them higher because they had a purpose. They had a purpose to serve people, to lead people out of bondage. Your purpose is to lead people out of bondage, in case you didn't know. It's to bring people out of an encapsulated mindset to where all they think is what they've been told by man to do, and to be brought up high. Christ wants to exalt you on high so you can exalt others on high. I could read this on here. Might have to just read this tonight. I'm excited. I'm excited today. In my own life, I'm excited for everybody in here who's getting this. It's exciting. This life is beautiful. I would never leave you without saying that. I promise you that. Because it is. It is absolutely beautiful. I got to drive this big truck to church.
Yes, you did. So did Buster Jones.
It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. But guess what? God knows that's my heart's desire, to drive that big truck.
Oh, I wonder why I was out there.
Even though it was for Dale's event, it lined up so that I could drive that truck because I love things like that.
And you look good doing it.
I didn't say that.
Carol was thinking.
But see, God wants your heart's desires, and He will give them to you. If you're not walking in your heart's desires, then seek a vision, seek His face. Because that's where your heart's desires are. Because your heart is His heart whenever you understand that it's Christ in you. That's all I got. I love you. We'll do it again like tonight.